In today's video, we have 3 different stories here on this channel. These stories are lesser known stories that people don't really know, and these have been never told on this channel, and I've put them into a compilation video for you, the viewer, to enjoy. And if you do enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I shall be doing more of these in the future. I am doing one every single day. But if you do enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get into today's video. In October of 1923, the Turner family was living near White Oak Mountain in Scott County, Arkansas. It was a rural area surrounded by thick woodlands, and like many families at the time, daily life involved was staying close to home and the land that was around them. 3-year-old Pearl Turner was playing near the family house on the afternoon of October 19th. Her parents were nearby and nothing seemed unusual about the day. She wasn't far away and there was no immediate danger in the area. But at some point in that afternoon, Pearl was no longer visible. Her family quickly began searching the immediate area before alerting others. What followed was a large-scale search effort involving hundreds of volunteers combing the surrounding mountains and terrains for days. Despite the size of the search and the widespread newspaper coverage, no confirmed trace of Pearl Turner was ever found. Authorities considered the possibility that she wandered into the woods, as well as other theories, but no definitive answer was reached. Her disappearance still remains a mystery to this day, and because her house was sitting on this plot of land, all around the house was forest. Basically, well, not all around, basically like there was a clearing here, and then it was forest, and basically she was playing out there, and she completely disappeared. It's so bizarre how it's just turned out that something like that happened when her parents were literally keeping an eye on her 24/7 while she was outside, and then she completely vanishes. It could have been an animal that came and got her and brought her into the forest. No one really knows still to this day. In the late 1923, Edward Nichols, Roy Wilson, and Dewey Morris travelled into the national forest that was in Oregon to trap furs for the winter season. The men were experienced outdoorsmen and planned to stay for several months in a cabin that was near Little Lava Lake. Throughout the winter, they worked trap lines in harsh weather conditions, living in isolation far from owns. It was demanding but not uncommon work for their time because they were experienced outdoorsmen. As winter passed and the men failed to return or make contact with the outside world, concern began to grow. When others eventually went to check on the cabin, the 3 trappers were missing. In April of 1924, after the lake ice began to melt, their bodies were discovered in Little Lava Lake. Investigators determined the men had been shot and suffered blunt force trauma injuries before being placed in the water beneath the ice. Multiple suspects were investigated over the years, but no one was ever convicted. The case became known as the Lava Lake Murders, and it remains unsolved. In 1988, Keith Raynard was living in the small mountain town of Silver Plum, Colorado. A journalist and an aspiring novelist, he had moved there seeking a quieter lifestyle and inspiration for his writing. He spent most of his time hiking and exploring the surrounding mountains, becoming familiar with his terrain. In August 7th, 1988, Raynard told others that he had planned to go to the mountains for another hike. It wasn't unusual because he normally did this anyway, but when he failed to return home, concern began to grow. Search efforts were launched in the surrounding mountain terrains, but no trace of him was ever found. His disappearance occurred not long after another man who had gone hiking had also gone missing, adding some speculation and suspicion within the town that someone was in the forest or the woods. Despite investigation and continued interest in the case, Keith Raynard was never located and his remains were never ever found. And the case is still open to this day. But if you did enjoy today's video with these 3 short stories, make sure to like and subscribe because I upload on here every single day. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Goodbye.